how anthropology relates to psychology, which, if you haven't guessed, is my major. By me, Leah Greenhall. Now I'm going to tell you the definitions of anthropology and psychology. Anthropology is the biocultural study of the human species throughout space and time. Now, psychology's definition is the science or study of the mind and behavior, both human and animals. Now, here are some similarities between both fields. Psychology has to do with human behavior, and anthropology encompasses in its scope the understanding and analysis of human behavior. So they both are also similar because they both try to understand man in the context of social behaviors. Anthropology and psychology complement each other. Psychological knowledge helps anthropologists in understanding the root causes of behavior in different cultures, while anthropological studies help the psychologists in calculating the influence of cultural environments and human behaviors. Now, the closest similarity between anthropology and psychology is the two subfields, social psychology and social cultural anthropology. Social psychology studies individual behavior under social environments, while social cultural anthropology also studies human society, social institutions, and groups. Now, one of the things we talked about in class is cannibalism, and that's a good example to show how psychology and anthropology are similar. The psychological approach to cannibalism would be asking questions like, why? What would urge them to eat one another? Did they grow up this way and it was okay? What is their thinking? Why is their brain wired this way? The anthropological approach to cannibalism, they'd be asking questions like, what does this say about their culture? Was it malicious? And what was the reasoning for it? These fields, both psychology and anthropology, contribute a huge part to understanding mankind. Another example that was shown in class was the Itoro tribe. The Itoro tribe's young boys would have to perform a sexual act on a male elder tribe leader in order to become a man. In their culture, this is okay and a rite of passage, but to us, this can be looked at as weird or not socially acceptable. Now, psychologists would look at the Etcher tribe and probably say that they most likely have a different way of thinking, that their brain is wired differently, that they have a fixation on sex and or sexual acts, and that's why that they perform these, and not that it's just a rite of passage. Now, anthropologists would look at this act as being socially unacceptable in our culture, but that's what makes it so interesting, is that it's different than ours. But that's what makes it worth getting to understand. We want to know why they're doing this. We want to understand their traditions and their cultural differences. So as you can see, anthropology and psychology are very similar in that they both are trying to understand the social behaviors of humankind, and they want to know why certain things happen and why their culture and their environments affect each other, and how they emerge together and feed off one another.